Hello everyone, I am Dr. Pratik Chaurasia from Department of Education, Mizoram University, Aizawl. Today, the topic which I have chosen is basically for the B.Ed second semester students. But this topic is of prime importance for the B.Ed students, M.Ed students and MA education students. As we all know, that teaching itself is not all enough. For the teacher, it is also very important to know how to assess their students. And for that purpose, a teacher must be able to develop a achievement test. So, today I am going to discuss the topic, it is achievement test and its construction. Look, the first thing comes into the mind that what is achievement test? So, considering a standard definition, we can see here any test that measures the accomplishment of an individual after a period of training or learning can be simply termed as achievement test. Or we can say an achievement test focuses specifically on how much a person knows about a specific topic or subject. Or in the other words, we can say it is used to determine what a student knows about a specific topic or subject. Means what I want to say here and make you understand that achievement test is of very prime importance for the teachers to know that how much content their students have learned, and on the basis of that a teacher can develop the further interventions and program for the betterment of the students. Now moving forward, it will be more simpler to see with the help of some examples. Here are some examples of achievement test. First, you can see a mathematics test covering the particular topic or chapter. Look, it is very simple. Any simple test which is based on any topic and chapter to know that how much students have learned is simply achievement test. Second example I will take a test of social science covering the particular topic or chapter. Another, it is a simple example of an achievement test of social science. And third one, a test of language and science covering the particular topic of chapter. Means we can say that achievement test is designed how much the student knows about a certain topic at a specific point of time. So this is a basic examples of achievement test, and I hope you have understand that what is achievement test. Now moving further, look, each and every test are made with some specific purposes. There are different kinds of test: achievement test, diagnostic test, reasoning ability test. Every test have their specific purpose. They are made to measure and assess the different traits of the students as well as their learning. But here we will discuss the purpose of achievement test. So achievement tests are basically used in the classroom mainly for the following purpose. Look, what I have said, that achievement tests are basically used in the classroom. So the first and main purpose of achievement test is to measure whether a student possesses the prerequisite skills needed to succeed in any unit, or whether the student have achieved the objective of the planned instructions or not. Means it is very clear. Look, whatever the students have achieved, to know that after a planned intervention, achievement test is used. Now moving forward, to monitor the students' learning and to provide ongoing feedback to both students and teachers. Third, to identify the students' learning difficulties, whether persistent or recurring. And the fourth and the very important and useful for the school education is to assign grades. So this all four are the main purposes of the achievement test. For that achievement test is constructed. Now here we can see few important uses of achievement test when achievement test is specifically used. So number one use of achievement test is classification. Look, as we have different students in a particular class, and a teacher want to classify that who has learned more and who has learned the less. For that purpose, a teacher uses achievement test for the classification, for the promotion, for selection purpose, for placement purpose, and last one is for the grading purpose. Look, the last use of the achievement test is highly applicable and useful in the school education and the whole school setup. After the every planned intervention, a teacher need to grade his or her students, and this grading can only be done with the help of achievement test. So these are the major uses of achievement test. Now moving forward, here is the classification of achievement test. Achievement test can be broadly classified into two main categories. As you can see here, first is standardized test and second is teacher made test. Teacher made test is further subdivided into subjective test and objective test. But here I will explain little bit about standardized test and teacher made test. Teacher made test is a test which is generally made by the teacher in the classroom for assessing the achievement of their students, whereas standardized test is a kind of test which has gone through the process of rigorous test standardization. It has a reliability, it has a validity, and a highly specific kind of a test. But here our purpose is to discuss the teacher made achievement test. So moving forward, you can see teacher made test is further subdivided into two categories. First is subjective test and second is objective test. Further, subjective test is broadly classified into two categories, written and practical. An objective test is classified into recall type and recognition type. And this recall type test is further classified into two different categories, simple recall or filling the blanks. And recognition type questions are classified into MCQ, multiple choice question. This I will discuss later in this presentation. True or false, matching type, analogy type, and classification. So this is a basic classification of achievement test, standardized test and teacher made test. Now the very important aspect for the teacher and the person who is going to develop achievement test, the concern is that how to construct achievement test, because with the help of achievement test a teacher is going to assess what their students have learned, where they are facing difficulties, and on the basis of that teacher also gets the feedback for his or her intervention, that how much successful the intervention was. So for that purpose construction of achievement test is very important. Now construction of achievement test involves three basic steps, as you can see here. Step first, identification of the instructional objectives. Step 2, preparing design of the test. And step 3, construction of the blueprint. Look, these three steps are the backbone of the construction of achievement test. So I will discuss these three steps step by step. Now taking the first step, identification of the instructional objectives. Look, before starting the development of achievement test, it is very important for the person who is going to develop the test that first decide what are the instructional objectives. So first and the most important step in planning achievement test is to identify the instructional objectives. Second, for every topic And subject instructional objective changes as per the condition and requirement. Look, when we are going to develop achievement test for the different topics and different subjects, their instructional objective changes as per the requirement, and on the basis of that achievement test is further designed. For example, different instructional objectives are decided for the science, language, social science, and mathematics on knowledge, understanding, and application level. These are the three levels of the cognitive level: knowledge, understanding, and application level, which you might be knowing in the Bloom taxonomy. Now, moving forward, design of the test. This is the another very important step of achievement test construction. It is the second step in planning achievement test. It is used to make the design for the test. Look, the design specify weightages. Here, when you are going to develop the test, you have to give some weightages. Weightages related to instructional objectives. Weightage related to types of the questions, means short answer question, long answer question, multiple choice question. Which type of question you are going to include in the achievement test? You have to give some weightage to it. Third is weightage to units and subunit of the course content. And fourth is very important, giving weightage to the levels of difficulty. Look, we can make the test as per our requirement. Difficulty level is pre-decided by the teacher, up to which level you want to take the test. So difficulty level is of very prime concern before the construction of achievement test. Now, construction of a blueprint. Here you can see there are few steps of the construction of blueprint. I will discuss it one by one. Steps of construction of a blueprint involves the following steps. Number one, it is weightage to the constituent units. Second, weightage to the learning objectives. Third, weightage to the types or forms of the questions. Fourth, weightage to the difficulty level. Fifth, scheme of the options. And sixth is finalization of blueprint. Now, moving forward, here you can see it is a matrix type arrangement based on the weightage to constituent units and learning objective. Suppose, for example, I am considering that as a teacher I want to take the test of 4 different topics or units, whatever is being decided by the teacher. Number 1 is unit A, second is unit B, third is unit C, and fourth is unit D. You can see here in this slide, weightage of marks has been decided in the third column. First column is serial number, second column is unit, third is marks, and fourth is the percentage of marks, and fifth is objective column, which is further subdivided in knowledge, understanding, application, and analysis. Very clearly you can see that how much marks weightage I have given to unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and unit 4. And these are further subdivided on the basis of objectives. Here weightage has been given to the knowledge, understanding, application, and analysis level. As you all know, these are the 4 cognitive levels. So look, you can see the numbers here. At the knowledge level, 2, 3, application 3, analysis 2, and total 50 marks test we are going to construct. Now, weightage to the types of question. Look, this is another very important aspect. You can see here types of question. I have taken 4 different types of questions for the achievement test. Number 1 is long answer, number 2 is short answer, number 3 is very short answer, and number 4 is MCQ, multiple choice questions. Now, as a teacher or as a test developer, you have to decide that how much marks of a question. Means long answer question, marks you have given 5 marks for each. Short answer question you have given 3 marks for each, and very short answer 2 marks for each, and 1 marks for multiple choice question. Number of questions, again you have to decide that how much number of questions you are going to give in an achievement test, because without that you can't be able to develop blueprint in a concrete form. So look here, I am going to take 3 long questions, 5 short answer questions, 6 very short answer questions, and 8 multiple choice questions. And now you can calculate that 5 into 3 is here 15, total 15 marks long question, and short question like that 15, very short question you get 2 multiplied by 6 is 12, and multiple choice question like that. So we are going to use 22 questions of 50 marks. On the basis of this, all weightages of the types of questions and their marks. So I hope you have understand this. And now moving forward, look, this is another weightage to the difficulty level, which I have discussed in the previous slides. You can see here, difficulty level, I have taken 3 difficult level. The test will be difficult or moderate or easy. So a test cannot be very difficult, cannot be very easy or very moderate. So I have taken these 3 levels and given the weightage of mark to all these 3 difficulty levels. First is, you can see, difficulty level I have given 10 marks questions, and total percentage of marks in a given test is 20. Second, you can see moderate marks I have given 15, and easy you can see 25 marks are given. Now moving forward, this is the scheme of option. You generally see that due to the flexibility in the question paper and providing more options to the students, this kind of schemes are generally used in the achievement test. Look here, column number 1 is serial number, column number 2 is the types of questions, column number 3 total number of questions, which is further subdivided in the question paper and to be answered, and next one is marks allotted. Here you can see in the question paper, long answer question are 4 and 3 to be answered, means one question is choice based. Short answer question, 7 questions are there, 5 to be answered, and very short question answer 8 in the question paper, 6 to be answered, 2 are the optionals. And in MCQ 10 questions are there, 8 to be answered. Total 22 questions have to be answered of 50 marks paper. Now look, this is the complete blueprint. You can see here, I will elaborate it one by one. First column, again you can see it is of units. I have taken the units A, B, C, D, and second is knowledge level, and then understanding, then application and analysis. Here you can see under the each section, knowledge, there is long answer question, short answer question, very short answer question, and multiple choice question. This is the similar kind of division in every level: understanding, application and analysis. Now you can see here how I have taken the questions. It is the long answer question, one long answer question from unit A at the knowledge level of 5 marks, and 2 MCQ type questions of 1 marks from the knowledge level. Similarly, moving further, we can see that at the understanding level from the unit A, I have taken 1 short answer question of 3 marks, and from the application level 1 short question of 3 marks, and at the analysis level I have taken 1 multiple choice question of the 1 marks. You can calculate here and see the total number of questions here. In the long answer question 1, short answer question 2, and here it is total 3 questions. Similarly, from the unit B, from the knowledge level I have not taken any question, because I have to balance that weightage also, level of difficulty. Always keep in mind that what you decide for the achievement test, that will be clearly reflected in the blueprint. Otherwise it will not fulfill what you want to assess. So now moving forward, at the understanding level you can see I have taken 1 short answer question of 3 marks and 1 MCQ type questions, and at the application level I have taken 1 long questions of 5 marks and 1 very short question of 2 marks, and at the analysis level from the unit B I have taken one very short answer type question. Similarly, all the units and their levels have been matched here, and you can see how number of questions have been taken from the different unit on the basis of knowledge, understanding, application and analysis level. Total marks here you can see 50. So now this is our complete blueprint on the basis of given weightages and marks that we have previously decided, and on the behalf of this blueprint a teacher will develop the achievement test. Now the next question comes into mind, that when the blueprint has been developed, how to design the questions. So I will discuss in a very brief that how questions can be taken and what are their importances. Here you can see a sample question paper of mathematics for class 10th. Here units have been replaced by ABCD to the concrete units of mathematics: algebra, geometry, mensuration, trigonometry, coordinate geometry and probability. MCQ type question, short answer question of 3 marks, long answer question of 4 marks. Look here, deciding the marks of the question is into the hands of the test developer. The test developer decides and have the full freedom that how to give the weightage of the marks, what is the level of difficulty level, but what you decide, that must be reflected in the blueprint, and on the basis of that blueprint you will develop the achievement test. So now moving forward and focusing on this concept, writing questions. Look, these are the very important part of development of achievement test, that how to write the questions after the development of blueprint. Since you have done the hard work in the development of blueprint, the another task is to write the questions, because questions are the things on the basis of that you can judge the traits and whatever the things you want to know from the students. So after preparing the blueprint, we start writing questions according to the blueprint. Always keep this thing in the mind, that you have to develop your questions as per the blueprint. For example, I am taking, suppose you have decided that in a test you will take 4 long answer type questions. So now you have given a restriction to yourself that you cannot use 5 long answer questions. So here you can see, if you know from the blueprint that unit 1 we have to prepare 4 objective type questions, 1 each for testing knowledge, understanding, applying and analysis, and 2 of them should be easy and 2 moderately difficult, then we have to proceed accordingly. Now I have taken here the first and the most important, the highest weightage marks question. It is a long answer question, which is always very tedious to answer, and there is always a kind of restriction that a student unable to get full out of full in the long answer question. That's why I have taken it initially to discuss. There are certain outcomes of learning, organizing, summarizing, integrating the ideas and expressing in one's own words. This all can be best measured by the help of long answer type question. And these long answer questions, I have further classified it into 2 groups. First is restricted response type long questions. You can clearly see here. And second is extended response type long questions. Now look, long questions are very, very important types of questions, where a teacher wants to judge the ideas of the students, how they can reflect over the certain topic, what are their thinking, what are their analytical thoughts on the basis of the topic which they have learned. So for that purpose, long answer question is of very, very prime importance for the teachers. Now coming to the restricted response type. In this form of long answer questions, limit is imposed by restricting the content and length of expected answer in the statement of the question. These questions can be very useful in evaluating the creativity and innovativeness in the students. These types of questions are also helpful to know the student's imaginative, divergent thinking ability. Overall, we can say here that long answer questions are very useful by knowing the student points of view, what the student think, what the student know about that particular topic by just expressing themselves. And restricted response type items are quite useful for testing learning outcomes, which requires interpretation and application that are specific and clearly defined in nature. For example, I am taking a question. You can see here, discuss the ways of managing recycling waste plastic. Look, this is a kind of question which is highly reflective. Here, a student will have their own ideas, their own understanding, how they will manage and recycle the waste plastic. But in the bracket, you can see I have restricted in one. You can see here the word limits are given. So these word limits are kind of a restriction to the question, and these restrictions limit them that they have to reflect their ideas in a limited way. So this is kind of a restricted response type question. Now, moving forward, extended response type. In this form of long questions, no limit is imposed and a student is given full freedom to write any number of pages and organize the material according to their choice. This is enough freedom to select, integrate, evaluate, and express in many ways one likes. Such questions are also useful for measuring broad abilities of the learner. Again, I am taking the same example. You can see here, discuss the ways of managing or recycling waste plastic, but I have removed the word limit. So this kind of long answer question are extended response type questions. Now, short answer question, another very important types of question. Short answer type question, if skillfully prepared, I am emphasizing over the word if skillfully prepared, can test the reasonable accuracy, many aspects of learning in terms of subject matter, abilities and skills. Answer to these questions are rather specific, thus they can easily provide the feedback to the teacher essential for understanding the student difficulties and most important, improving the teaching and learning. So for this purpose, short questions are very important and a teacher must include short answer question in achievement test. Example we can see here. I have taken a question. Light is a which kind of wave? Short answer question. Now, multiple choice question. Multiple choice question, these questions are nowadays very frequently used, and these are of also very prime important for the achievement test. MCQs are designed in such a way in which students are asked to select a correct answer. Correct answer you have to select from a list of choices. Among the choices, one option is picked as a right answer and all other choices are wrong. And these wrong choices are commonly known as distractors. You can see here, distractor, as the word signifies, it distracts the learner by coming to the right answer. It gives them a kind of a mirage that which one is correct, and the person who is going for guess, there are the most chances that he or she will do the mistake. So second, the most crucial element in a multiple choice is distractor, as I have discussed here, and as the name signifies, distractors are included to distract the student who is not sure. Again, I am giving emphasis on this word, who is not sure of the correct responses. Sometimes guessing is also there, but to avoid this kind of guessing, distractors are used, and it plays a very important role for making a MCQ question very good in sense of extracting the exact knowledge of the learner. Example, you can see here, I have taken a question, which element is having maximum hardness? Now look, it is a very simple question. asking the hardness of the element, 4 options are given here. Number 1 is diamond, number B steel, number C is calcium, and last one is magnesium. Here you can see in a multiple choice item, distractors are used to increase the difficulty level, and one correct answer is used. I think diamond is the correct answer here, that it has a maximum hardness. So this is a basic of multiple choice question. When you develop multiple choice question, always keep in mind that options or choices that you are using in MCQ must be very specific, not vague, and related, and it should be used in a form of distractor that nobody can be able to guess the answer. Now, matching type items. In a matching type item, for each entry in a column A, all entries in column B should be plausible alternatives. Look again, it is matching the options of A into the options of B. Here options are arranged in the column wise. You can see clearly in the slide, and there should be unequal number of entries in column A and B. Look again, this column A and column B's are arranged in unequal numbers just to distract the learners, just to increase the difficulty level. Further, there should not be clue in the alternatives for a particular entry in column A. Question, you can see there are the 2 columns. First is column A, second is column B, and options are there: formula for hydrochloric acid, unit of electric current, instrument which measures current, formula for sulfuric acid, and unit of potential difference. And 5 options are there in the column A, and you can see there is more options in column B. It is more than 5. Options are ampere, ammeter, voltmeter, HCl, H2SO4, and volt. So this is an example of the matching type item. When you go to develop matching type items, always keep in mind that there should be unequal numbers of entries in column A and column B, and the column and the options in the columns should be very specific, and there should not be clue in the alternatives for a particular entry in column A. Now, with this all, I would like to conclude this session. In a nutshell, we can conclude that achievement test is highly beneficial for the students and teachers both. Look, it is not only beneficial for the teacher, it is beneficial for the students and teacher both. With the help of this test, student progress can be easily known to the teachers, and this is what a very important task for the teacher, to know that how much their students have learned. Teaching is not all about teaching the students, it is about knowing the students that how much they have learned. With the help of achievement test, how much students have learned and where they have the problems can be easily identified. Achievement test not only give the student performances, but it also reflects the success and failure of interventions given by the teacher. Overall, it explores the learning progress of the students with an intent to know their learning of particular topics and subject. So with this all, I would like to sum up this presentation. I hope you have enjoyed and learned about achievement tests and its construction. Thank you.